Hi everyone, Greeno here and welcome to another video here on Greeno Eats. Now I'm down in Swanage today. It's a fairly blustery day, not very spring-like it has to be said. I've had nicer days down here, but I'm getting a bit peckish and I'm going to go and find something to eat. Now I'm right down the far end of the seafront. If you look behind me there, that's where Swanage town centre is. It's a good mile or so walk away from where I am now. So I'm going to have a little stroll along and see what I fancy. There's a chippy I really want to get to that the Greenager recommends. But I'm not sure if they're going to be open today or not. We'll go and see. If not, we'll find something else. Let's go. So I'm just strolling along the seafront now. Like I say, it's just the far end. There's just a bunch of beach huts, which you can probably see behind me, and not a lot else down here. A couple of snack bars, that sort of thing. Like I say, it's not the nicest weather day you'll ever have down in Swanage. But, you know, as someone who's grown up a stone's throw away from the sea, I quite like days like this. It's kind of peaceful. There's not so many people around. It's not raining or anything. The sea is a little rougher, so it's making a bit more noise. But I quite like the noise of the sea. It's yeah, definitely better than the height of tourist season when you can't park anywhere. You got a queue for everything. This is what the seaside's about for me. So this is kind of interesting. I found this sign down by the end of the seafront, which is basically detailing what's going on with the coastline. There's a lot of landslips around, landslides. We've seen them all down the coast of Dorset throughout this winter, particularly down West Bay, that kind of neck of the woods. So it's definitely something to look out for if you're down this place over the summer. Keep an eye out for any kind of movement around the cliffs and get out the way quick. Okay, here is the place that the Greenager has been telling me about. It's called Wright on the Beach. Now I did come here once before when I bought a bag of chips to go with a Greg's Magic bag that I had with Littlin way back at the start of my channel. I don't know if any of you will have seen that video or not, but I've not been here since. I've not had anything apart from a portion of chips from this place. Now I don't think it's open yet. It's a little bit before midday, so I'll give them a few more minutes to get open, get sorted out, and then we'll come back and get something to eat. Now it's called Right on the Beach because, as you can see, it's right on the beach. Okay, so I just whiled away a few minutes in the arcade. Please gamble responsibly, folks. I actually won about a fiver, so can't go wrong. Right, I think the chippy's open now, so let's head back down that way and get something to eat. Right folks, so I've been in and ordered. Now this isn't going to be one of the ones that features on my what I can get for a tenner in a chippy, because I've ordered regular cod, chips and a pickled egg, and it's come to £12 and 5 pence. Now of course you've got to bear in mind we're in a premium location here. We are right on the beach, as the name suggests. So you do always pay a little bit of a premium for that, don't you? But hopefully this is going to be good. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm starving hungry. I've been for a good walk this morning. Probably got about 10,000 steps in mooching around Swanage this morning, so time to get some grub in my belly. Right folks, it is very breezy out here, so I'm hoping this isn't going to blow away. But we got a nice big piece of fish here. I mean, look at this. This is a chunky old bit of fish, isn't it? Look at that. That's not one of those small ones I've been getting in other chippies recently. Nice healthy portion of chips there. And of course, the pickled egg. So, let's start with some of these chips, shall we? Now, they're a nice golden colour. Take a little look at that. Really nice colour to the chip. The guy in there put the salt and vinegar on for me so I didn't have to move the fish out of the way, because I asked for it to be unwrapped. Basically, because I'm literally sat outside the chippy now. They've got 4 little picnic tables out here, so you can sit down, Got the sea just behind me there, as you can see over my shoulder. Proper seaside fish and chip experience. These chips are good, they're nice and crispy. They've got a really good flavour. Take another look here. I mean, there's quite a lot of smaller chips in there, but they're not really like scraggly little ones necessarily. Nice amount of salt and vinegar on them. And I've got to say, the Greeno was right, they're really tasty. So crispy on the outside. Nice and fluffy inside. Those are some tasty chips. Okay, let's move on to this fish, shall we? Now, like I say, I mean, this is a substantial portion of fish, this is. Really nicely cooked. Let's see if I can just break it in half. Here we go. Take a look inside this fish. This is a regular portion of fish, not a large one, a regular portion. Now, like I say, I've just broken that in half, and I think when I went to the fish place in Swanage and had their small cod, chips and mushy peas, their small cod was smaller than this half a piece of cod I got here. Now, admittedly, that was £9.90 for the fish, chips and peas, but I don't think this is bad value for the size of fish I've got here. Let's see how it tastes. Oh, wow. That is really, really good. The fish is lovely and white. Nice and fresh tasting, it really is. And the batter, even though it's a little thicker than I would normally have batter, actually has a really nice flavour. It's hot. It has a nice flavour and is cooked all the way through. Sometimes when you get a thicker kind of batter, it's almost doughy inside. Because obviously the oil is what crisps the batter, but the fish is effectively steaming inside that batter case, isn't it? So it kind of keeps it soggy, but this isn't like that at all. It's crispy all the way through. Even though this was cooked to order, the guy asked if I minded just to let it sit in the hot counter for a minute or two, just to drain off, so that it wasn't greasy, which I think is a nice touch. I was chatting to him in there. Obviously they've been pretty quiet up till now. The weather has not been great. But there's a lot of events coming up in Swanage in the coming weeks, which they're hoping are going to be making things a little bit busy. Of course, with the cost of living crisis, even the local folk are having to cut back on luxuries like fish and chips. And he was saying he understands that completely. You know, if you come and get a fish and chip dinner for 4 people, that's half a weekly shop, easy. So he understands the pressures that people have got. But the problem is, if we don't use these places, we're going to lose them, aren't we? So I think where we can, it's important for us to support local businesses like this ahead of big chains. They'll always be all right. They might close the odd venue if it's not making a profit. But most of the time they'll just they'll have the financial pulling power to make it through. Little guys like this, knocking out really decent food, in fairness. They're the guys who need your support. know what I haven't tried yet? This pickled egg. Now, I know for a lot of people out there, pickled egg is a bit of an alien concept. I love it, and I think it goes really well with a fish and chip dinner. Kind of creamy, but sharp vinegar, which cuts through the natural kind of fattiness you get from fish and chips. It's a good pickled egg. And like I say, these chips really are tasty. He wasn't shy with the salt and vinegar, and I like that. Sometimes you go to a chippy, they ask if you want salt and vinegar on it. You say yes, and you can't even tell they put any on. But not here. That's really good. Now, as regular viewers of the channel will know, batter is not my favourite thing, but look at this. So that's the inside of the batter. You see how crispy it is on both sides? And very tasty. Obviously using very clean oil. I think we picked a winner here. So that's me done. I think my eyes are a bit bigger than my belly today. I'm used to only ordering these smaller portions. Well, as you can see here, I left some of the batter. So I'm not the world's biggest fan of batter. This was really tasty, but just on that big piece of fish, it's just a little bit too much. And the chips, I mean, they are tasty. You can keep going a little bit, but just too big a portion. So I picked out the nicer looking ones. Obviously there are a few scrappy ones in there. You'll get that anywhere. But yeah, overall, pretty good. So overall, what do I make of Wright on the beach? Do you know what? It is pretty good. It was a really good sized portion, I think, for the money. £12 and 5 pence was it, I think, for the fish and chips, which is £11.25. Pickled egg was 80p. Yeah, so £12.05 altogether. Really, really decent sized portion of cod for the money, I think. Good portion of chips. Really tasty ones too. I'd say towards the end, there were quite a few scrappy ones left in there, but I didn't really mind that. I'd had more than my fill. So yeah, plenty good enough. The fish itself was really, really tasty, very well cooked. The batter was nice and crispy throughout. Like I say, I couldn't eat all the batter myself though. It's just something I only have in moderation. So left some of that, but not because it wasn't good. It really was. Overall, I say because there's a few little scrappy chips and whatever at the end, maybe a sort of 8.5 out of 10. Definitely well worth a visit though if you're in this neck of the woods down in Swanage. Okay, so that's going to be it from me for today. I need to go for a little walk this lunch off. But it's still cold and breezy down here, so might have to zip the coat up a bit more. But yeah, if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget, click a thumbs up on there for me. It does help with the channel. And if you're new around here and you like what you've seen, why not consider subscribing and clicking your little bell for notifications. And that way you won't miss anything that comes up on the channel. Right, I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.